This episode was sponsored by Peyton Beauties. If you ever need hair care needs, jump over to my Instagram, Peyton Beauties, and I'd love to help you out.
I'm Kylie.
I'm Peyton.
And this is Fires of Change. Hello, good evening. Today is Thursday, September 4th, 2025. It's Beyonce's birthday. But yes, this is also episode 4 of season 3. And today we are going to be discussing National Hispanic Month. National Hispanic Heritage Month. There we go. I was like, National Hispanic Month doesn't sound right. But yes, shout out to all of our Spanish speaking people. Shout out to all of the Latinas, Latinos, Latines. We love y'all. Mm-hmm. And yeah, before we highlight our important people who key figures, let's say that key figures in
key women figures.
Yes, key female figures in Latinx, in the Latinx community. I'm gonna pass it over to Peyton so she can get into it with the current events as always.
Thanks, Kylie. Yeah, so today there was a Senate committee hearing, and it lasted like 3 hours-ish. And it was with the Secretary of Health and Human Services, RFK, which is crazy that he got that title because he knows nothing about what's going on at all. Like, he knew the answers to none of the questions, basically. He kept going on like rants about how it was like the Biden administration doing stuff and that the CDC had like all this false data. It was ridiculous. He didn't know how many people had died because of COVID, and they said it was 1 million Americans. And when they were, asking him if he knew, he was just like, no, the data of the CDC, all that shit. And I was like, okay. So you don't know your job. And they're basically kind of roasting him too, because they're like, so you're 8 months in this job and you don't even know how many people died from the CDC, and you're literally the like Secretary of Health of Human Services. It's like, you're not doing your job. So basically, like, from what I understand, one of the hot seat issues was he holds back COVID-19 vaccine recommendations. And so basically, from what I understand, they were saying that less people are going to have access to them because it's not as like broad of a group or something. So it's obviously taking resources away from people, like, shocker. But yeah, he just like did not know what was going on. So yeah, but it was literally like both sides of the aisle were asking him questions, and everyone was kind of looking at him like he was like an idiot, because he is. So, but we do have some good news. So the global Samud flotilla to Gaza set sail. So basically, we talked about it with oh my gosh, I'm having a brain fart today, guys. Sorry, we're all a little tired. We're all making it. We're all trying our best.
We're here.
We're here. And Greta Thunberg. Okay, so she got on this flotilla a while back with like, I want to say 12 other activists. We talked about it a little bit on one of our other podcasts. But basically, they got to Gaza. They were like arrested and then eventually like turned away. So more and more countries are starting to get involved. So basically now 50 ships are headed to Gaza to challenge Israel's illegal blockade and deliver urgent humanitarian aid. So basically people are realizing like we have power in numbers. We need to start doing it together. At first they had a delay a couple days because there was bad weather, but they did start the first convoy on August 31st, which was dozens of small civilian vessels carrying activists, humanitarians, doctors, seafarers, humanitarian supplies, and they departed from Spain. And so they then met up with the second wave in Tanzania. I think I'm saying that right.
Tanzania?
Like Tanzania. I tried to practice it a couple times and I can't figure out.
Oh, Tunisia?
Tunisia. Thank you. So yeah, basically they met up with this second wave today, September 4th, but there are 44 countries involved. And so basically from today, it will be about 8-day trip till they get to Gaza. And there are 6 continents that are part of it. So thank God there is some adult humans in the world with some compassion, because it's getting really scary. Like, the death toll there is really incredibly high. Like, they're purposely basically destroying hospitals. They do these things where they destroy a hospital or destroy something like that, and then more people come and then they hit it again because they know there's more people going to be in there. Like, they're poisoning the food that's coming in. There's actively starving. Like, what people don't understand about a genocide is it's usually like a man-made fabrication. And so, like, we saw it with like the Irish potato famine. Like, it was because Britain came and stole food from Ireland and the Irish people basically starved. And so now we're seeing that with Gaza because basically they want to come in. It is a land grab. So again, colonization. That's the reason why all this is happening. And so basically the world leaders are kind of trying to kill off this population of people so they can come put real estate there. So that's kind of where we're at with Gaza. But please, if you don't watch Bison from Gaza, she's an on-the-ground reporter of what's going on. She's in the act of genocide, and she's been recording since this first happened. So please go look her up. It's usually Wizard Bison, and they usually delete her account a lot, and she has a lot of problems, so she has to recreate accounts. So yeah, that's what's going on.
Thank you for sharing the current events. Yeah, it's crazy because I first remember seeing Basan's videos October 2023. Now it's about to be October 2025. So it is, yeah, I just think about her always wearing that same sweatshirt and, just, I know I haven't seen, her videos recently, but I just remember, she has braces and it's just like, damn, okay, for anybody that's ever had braces, you have to go to the orthodontist every 6 weeks or something like that. I don't know, very often. So it's just like the everyday things that we, don't think about or take for granted. Like, these people cannot do, the people can't go to school, people can't go to work, people can't provide for their families. People are always having to constantly get up and go elsewhere. People are, starving. Like, it is a famine. There's, there are supposed to be certain places that are safe havens, during situations like this, and they're, continuously, bombing those places, those, schools and religious places and, hospitals, libraries, things like that. Those are supposed to be off limits, but, here they are. So it's just, it is nice to hear that other countries are, making things happen, because it's crazy that this is all happening and we are all able to watch it, but the powers that be aren't doing anything. So I'm really glad to hear that other countries are coming together to be a part of the flotilla, and I hope that this spurs more movement from more entities.
Yeah.
Um, but to dive into today's subject matter, we both have some, like we said earlier, we both have key figures that we wanted to highlight in the Hispanic community. And so the first that I'm going to highlight is Selena. I love Selena. I've always loved Selena ever since I was a kid. I don't know why. but well, let me not say that. What do you mean I don't know why? I know why. She was an amazing lady. I don't know what I meant to say was I don't know how I even like really came across her because she, passed when that wasn't even a thought. She passed, 3 years before I was born, but I do have her tattooed on me
Cute.
for those who can see that. But yeah, I just ever since I was a child, I just always like loved watching her movies and listening to her music. And um yeah, she was it's crazy to think that she was, only 23 when she passed away, and how so many of these people can make such a mark just at such young ages. But for those of you who don't know who Selena was, she was a young lady, a young Mexican American lady from Texas. She was born in Lake Jackson, Texas on April 16th, 1971. Her father is Abraham Quintanilla, and he was a former musician. He had his own band in his younger days back in the 50s. And her mother is named Marcela Zamora, and her mom is a homemaker. And so, as a kid growing up in Texas, her parents, like many immigrant, or they weren't necessarily immigrants. They were, I think they were first generation, either first generation or second generation. But like many families who have origins outside of the U.S., they chose to speak to their children mostly in English. But as Selena got a little bit older, they decided to have her. Her father started teaching her Spanish because he figured, if she's going to be making music, we're out in Texas. There is a big Hispanic community here, so we need to make sure that she's able to, people are able to relate to the music. So she needs to be able to speak in to sing in Spanish. So she learned how to sing in Spanish first, and then she eventually learned how to became fluent in speaking Spanish. So she began performing at a very young age, and by the time she had turned 10, she was the lead singer of her family's band, which was called Selena y los Dinos. And so the band consisted of Selena, who was, of course, the lead singer, her brother Abraham III, who is known as AB, who was a guitarist, I believe, and then her sister Suzette, who was on the drums. And so they would, go around to different places in Texas, restaurants, fairs, things like that, and just perform. And so that's how they got their start as a group. And so for those who don't know, Tejano music is a genre that is specifically, Tejano literally means Texan in Spanish. So it is specifically a genre that comes from Texas. It comes from people who, Hispanic people, specifically the Mexican population in Texas, as it is a mix of, it has Western elements, it has country elements, and then it, of course, has elements of traditional music from Mexico. So yeah. And so Tejano, at that time, it was a genre that was heavily male dominated. There was not really ever a, female star of that particular genre. But when Selena and her family started performing as a band, they, became an important piece of the Tejano music scene at that time. And so they went on to record 7 albums from 1984 to 1988. So they were working. They were in that studio. And her solo career began when a music executive, Jose Behar, saw her perform at the 1989 Tejano Music Awards. She was performing, and then, after the concert and the performance ended, he signed her on the spot. And later that year, she released her eponymous album, her self-titled album. Um, and at that time, her brother was writing songs for her as well as helping her produce. So from 1989 to 1995, she recorded 5 albums. And she actually ended up earning 7 number one spots on the Hot Latin charts and her chart. And her most successful song, Dreaming of You, peaked at 22 on the Hot 100 chart.
Mm.
Yeah. And so at the time of her death, she was in the process of crossing over. Like she was into the, mainstream, like the English speaking music scene. So she was really popular in, like the Latin music community, but she was like just at that point of, really getting to, break into, again, the mainstream thing or the mainstream part of music. And so she was actually known as the Queen of Tejano, which again was a male dominated genre. And she was known as a trailblazer in the genre because she was yeah, exactly. She was the first woman to find major success in that area of music.
Honestly, her being 23, like when I think about that, like that's such a baby. Because when I watched the movie when I was younger, it was like obviously she was older than me. I was like, oh, she was older. But like now as an adult, being my age, I'm like a baby.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's really sad how like a lot of these like I really another person that I think about who died really young was Aaliyah, because she died when she was 22. And yeah, it's just crazy how some people can make such a lasting impact despite them only being here for,
a very short amount of time.
And
Yeah.
she was definitely one of those people. And so not only I'm getting ahead of myself, but she ended up winning a Grammy in 1994 for the Best Mexican American Album, and she was the first female Tejano artist to win the award. So very cool. Definitely somebody just like an Aries.
Yep.
She very much somebody who kind of just does things their own way, and
they're the first. We're the first.
Exactly, the first. So not only was she an amazing singer, but she also was a fashion designer. She designed a lot of her own costumes, and she did have a clothing line. And so when she ended up meeting she was married at the time of her death, and she ended up meeting her husband in 1990. And so he was hired as the lead guitarist, and that's how they met. And, quickly they, fell in love and started dating. Her dad wasn't really fucking with it.
Okay.
But,
what can you do? You like who you like.
What can you do, So they ended up getting married on April 2nd, 1992. And they remained married until she passed away, unfortunately, 3 years later. And so she had a fan club president named Yolanda Saldivar, and she was the person who was like overseeing all of the financial stuff. And so Selena and her father ended up finding out that she was embezzling from them. And Selena was really hurt because, not only was this her fan club president, but this was somebody who she considered, a really close friend. Like they were very, very close. They really loved each other. So it's like, dang, not only are you, messing with my money, but you're like, you betrayed me, I care for you as a person. You're not just my employee. Like I really fuck with you. So she ended up she ended up passing away on March 31st, 1995. Yolanda shot her at a Days Inn in, was it Houston? I don't know what Texas city it was. But when I was out there this past weekend, I remember seeing a Days Inn, and I was like, dang, I don't
Mm,
think it was that one, but I thought
yeah.
about her, you know? And yeah, so unfortunately, that is the way that she passed away. She ended up she shot her and they took her to the hospital, but she ended up passing away from too much blood loss. And she was a Jehovah's Witness. And I guess, they don't believe in taking other people's blood.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that is how she passed away. And so after her death, her album Dreaming of You was released and it hit #1 on the Billboard 200. And this was another first. This was the first mostly Spanish language album that was able to get to #1. So another, historical achievement under her belt. And in terms of what her legacy is, Selena actually has a museum in Corpus Christi, Texas, that was opened in 1998. And I do plan on going there at some point.
Yay.
But it is like 6 hours from Houston, I think. So it is a drive,
Oh.
but I will make that drive eventually. Cause I really want to go there and like just.
Well, that'd be such a cute little getaway.
Yeah. Yeah. I really want to visit the museum and just like see like, the museum has her tour bus and it has, she had this like cute little red Porsche that she really loved. And it has that, and it has some of the stuff that she, like some things from her wardrobe. So, as somebody who has loved Selena for my whole life, like I have to go. George W. Bush, who was the governor at the time of her death, declared her birthday as Selena Day.
Aww.
She ended up receiving her Hollywood star in 2017. And she also became the first Latina artist that was inducted into the Star Trail of Fame outside of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. And so I got my information regarding Miss Selena from biography.com, but I've watched the Selena movie many times. Back when I was, honestly, I'm due for a rewatch because I haven't watched it in some years because it's just so long and I just cry every time. And sometimes I'm just not in the mood to cry, but I will be rewatching it here. There are a lot of movies that I want to rewatch here now that fall is coming. That's one of them. And then The Craft is another one.
Oh, yeah. I love fall movies. I'm really excited. Like, summer was fun. I'm ready for fall.
I'm ready for fall, But yes, Selena is, she just seemed like somebody who was very loving, very caring. She always talked about how much she loved children and animals and, how she wanted to have a farm. And, she was just somebody who was, really loved. And I think it says a lot that, like I said, I was born 3 years after she passed away. So, it really says a lot that even, 30 years after she's passed away, so many people still love and care for her and really, cherish her and, who she was and, the gifts that she gave us while, during her short time on this earth. So, excuse me. Yeah, just another reminder that there are a lot of ways that you can, make your mark. I think, being genuine spans, I don't know what I'm trying to say, the different planes of life.
No, I agree. Like, I feel like some people can like rig the system only for so long, but I think being genuine in what you're doing gets you very far. It might take a while to get there, but I think people like that are rewarded. But yeah, it's just that story always makes me so sad because it's just like, what a stupid, jealous bitch. And I hope she rots because what the fuck?
Yeah, what's crazy is she was supposed to be, they were supposed to, like, she was supposed to come out and be on parole on, like, this year on my birthday, March 30th. When I saw that, I was like, no, y'all better keep her in there. And they did.
Okay, see? Love that because, like, people love Selena and, like, someone will do something to her.
Yeah, I was like, if she comes out, like, they better make sure she has some protection, because yeah, people don't play, especially down in
Mhm.
Texas. Like, it's,
Mhm.
I've never, I don't know. I want to go around like different parts of Texas, and I'm sure like they have like murals of her and different things. But yeah, people, she's definitely a one of the hometown heroes. So
Yeah. Aw. I love hearing about her. I just love, like you said, her energy.
mhm.
Um, yeah, actually that's funny though you said, well, not funny, but like just how you can make your mark like that because it's like my friend when I'm with my friend, we like to listen to her, but we all went out to X Bar and they had like a Selena night and it was probably one of the funnest nights I've had at X Bar. Like I had a blast. So we love you, Selena.
We do.
So yeah, so my fantabulous lady one of them that I got some info off of, um, her name is Candelaria Riveras Ramos. So she's basically a new athlete on the scenes. She ran the ultra marathon de los Canoes. Ooh, I butchered that. But basically, it's the 2025 Canyon Ultra Marathon. So she had zero training before she did this. Um, Part of her where she's from in Mexico and her culture is they are very good runners. Like it's very in their culture. And so they live up in the mountains and it's very like obviously rocky. From some of the stuff I read, this tribe, let me get the name, the Rama Murray community, is basically known for long distance running in sandals and traditional wear. And so that's what's really cool about her to me is she literally runs in a traditional dress and she runs in her sandals. And basically, this marathon, she was the first woman to place in this race. So she won, obviously, gold. And then she ran it in 7 hours and 34 minutes. But what's crazy as fuck to me is that it's 63 kilometers, which is 51.57 miles. So
Mm.
it's like to run 51 miles, like 51 and a half miles in 7 hours and 34 minutes
In sandals.
in sandals and a dress. Like, wow. And on top of it, she had to walk from her hometown to this race and it took her 14 hours. So she walked from there 14 hours, got to this race, and then ran 50 fucking miles in her sandals and her dress. And she won first. And she had no trainers, no specialized gear, like nothing. Like it was literally just her running. Like I can't get over it. Like badass.
Yeah, very much chingona. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can't. Like just walking in like in certain
Yeah.
sandals is like super painful. Like I cannot imagine walking even 1 hour
No,
outside. I'm not
literally.
gonna lie to you.
Honestly, I'm gonna be real. When I walk in like Vegas and stuff, like I'm dying. Or when I went to Chicago, dying. Dying. And we took the subway half the time. So I'm
Yeah,
like, my pinkies felt like my pinky toes, they felt like they're gonna fall off.
yeah.
Felt like I had blisters. So like 50 fucking miles.
After walking 14 hours to get there,
Yes.
that's different.
That's like superhuman. Like
And then to win, like
to
not
win.
only to do that, like just period, but like
Yes.
it still would have been amazing even if she came dead last. But the fact that she won is like,
No,
who are
like
you?
the best part. Like it's just I'm so happy for her. And then A boxer, Canelo Alvarez, he donated $2 million to her, and, like, I think I don't know if she has a small business or something like that, but yeah, he donated $2 million, and then this, guy that plays football, honestly, I don't know sports, but Isaiah Pacheco, I think he was wearing a red jersey, I don't know, but he gifted her $1 million, so
Mm.
love that for her. Get your bag. I love that people gave her the recognition because that's a fucking accomplishment. Like, that's superhuman strength.
Yeah, no one's doing it like her.
No.
That's so cool.
You know, right?
And I'm sure like the terrain was crazy.
Yes, and that's what they said. It was, like, rocky, uphill, downhill, like, it was and everyone, like, that was, like, running kind of around her, like, at first, like, people were, like, recording with her, like, they're all excited, and then it's just, like, at the end to see her, like, no one was with her, you know what I mean? So, like, to her, she's like, "This is light work," like,
Yeah.
whatever, and to everyone else, they're dying because and they've done training, they've done all this stuff, but it's just like, she's better.
You know, if you got it, you got it.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
she's pretty cool. So that's what I got on her.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, that is I think it's you know, and I think it definitely makes a statement that she, you know, chooses to run in her like traditional like wear, you know. Cuz clearly she's, you know, a great athlete, so I think a lot of people would be trying to wear, you know, the newest whatever, you
Mhm.
know, the newest set with like you know, clothing set with I don't know, there's all types of technology or whatever that they
Yeah.
put in these clothes and these shoes and stuff. So um yeah, but I think it really says a lot that she excuse me, decided to stay true to herself and her culture and, you know, just wear especially like you said because her people are known for running in the I don't know if it's Huaraches. I'm really not
We were
sure how
talking
to
about this
um,
before, and
pronounce
I
it.
could not pronounce it, and also Kylie helped me a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Let me know if I'm not, but
And, like, in the comments, let us know.
yeah, but like that particular um like sandal is like native to that particular group of people. So yeah, I love that she not only did she win and blow everybody else out of the water, but she, you know, represented while doing so. So
Looked cute the whole time.
yeah,
Loved it.
amazing, amazing. So as for my second lady that I wanted to platform today, I wanted to talk about Sonia Sotomayor. She is actually the first Latina Supreme Court justice,
Ooh.
which is very, you know, obviously an amazing feat. Yeah, yeah, she became so she was born in the Bronx, New York on June 25th, 1954. And in her younger life, when she was 7, she was diagnosed with diabetes, and she um, credits this with you know kind of helping her learn self-reliance because you know obviously with diabetes, you know you have to check your insulin, you have to check your blood sugar, you have to inject your insulin, you know you have to like you have to make sure you're good, you know, and depending on the situation that you're in, you know, so there might not necessarily be somebody there to help you. And so, um, with her family dynamic, her father unfortunately was an alcoholic and he did pass away when Sonia was 9 years old due to a heart attack. And so after that event, after him passing, her mother, herself, and her younger brother moved into a different because at this point, you know, they were staying in kind of like a more seedy part of town, but after the father's death, they were able to move into a little bit of a nicer place. And she says that at this time, when she, around the age of, 9, 10, she decided, you know what, let me really start taking my academics seriously. So, I really want to go to, oh my gosh, I can't talk. I really want to go to college and, get an education and make something of myself. And so she did exactly that. She she finished high school and she ended up graduating summa cum laude with with a BA from Princeton in 1976. So summa cum laude is the highest distinction. I don't know what's going on with talking today, but
It's
hey,
okay.
it's the highest distinction that one can receive in terms of an undergraduate degree. And she later received her JD from Yale 3 years later in 1979. And during her time at Yale, she also served as an editor for the Yale Law Journal. After her time at Yale, she served as an assistant district attorney in New York from 1979 to 1984. She then moved to a different law firm, Pavia and Harcourt, where she was an associate. Then she was promoted to partner. Her tenure there lasted from 1984 to 1992. And then in 1991, we're running a little bit, she was appointed by President George H.W. Bush to the U.S. District Court, and she served in the Southern District of New York from 1992 to 1998.
Oh, that.
Yes, she stayed booked and busy. And I did not mention, but she is Puerto Rican. So she is a Boricua. Let's see. She then became part of the U.S. Court of Appeals in the Second Circuit from 1998 to 2009. And then after President Barack Obama was sworn in 2009, he pretty quickly nominated her to be a part of the United I don't even know why. I don't know why I put USC here, because what does USC even mean? The United Supreme Court? No. The United States Supreme Court by, again, President Obama nominated her, and she has been serving since.
I love that.
Yes, she is definitely more, left-leaning. So
love that too.
Yeah. So I definitely remember in 2009, I remember her being nominated and being, very historical. So it's great to see that she is still there, and hopefully, I'm not going to say what I was going to say, but hopefully some changes can be made by the powers that be, whichever powers. I don't know. I don't know which powers, but because they're on there for life, until they decide they don't want to be. So hopefully the powers that be can make some changes so that,
honestly,
some other people can get in there.
Like when we talk about that, like that seems like we should have some limits to some of them, because I don't know. Like even honestly, I know Ruth Bader Ginsburg did some stuff for the women community, but she also was harmful to some other communities. And like low-key, she could have stepped down when Obama was still president so he could fill the seat. And then obviously she died during Trump's term, so then Trump got to fill the seat. And then it's like we were fucked. So that's one thing when it's like you're looking out for yourself as opposed to looking out for the country and your party. Kind of pisses me off. Little side tangent, but
Yeah, I do think I don't think that anybody should be serving in a government. I don't think that anybody should be serving until they pass,
yeah.
Although the Supreme Court is a different part of the, government. It's a part of the legislative Ooh, it's definitely not. Isn't it the judicial? Damn, that's crazy.
I think it is the
Anyways,
judicial.
Just pretend I said judicial at first. What matters is that I corrected myself.
Yeah.
So yes, the fact that they are, a part of the judicial branch, like that's still a part of government. So I just don't think that.
I think that's like hoarding power. Like, you
Yeah.
can't be that age because it's like, hear me out. We love our grandparents, we love maybe older people around us, but like, should they be in charge of people? No, they shouldn't because they're not from low key the century. And they don't need to be making decisions based on, because even when you think about it, it's like a lot of them were alive during like Jim Crow, the 70s Vietnam War. Like, they went through a lot of shit where they showed their true colors. And they bring that shit into their policy as we fucking see.
Yeah, so I definitely agree that, people it shouldn't be that long of a term. Serve your time, do what you gotta do, but I don't think
Limit.
you should be, appointed to something at 45 and then stay there until you're 90. Like, that's
No.
crazy.
Because it's like you should have to retire when, like, what is it, 67 now or something, 68, mandatory, or not even mandatory, but like you can retire. It's like, you need to retire too then. You can't be 90.
Yeah,
I know
you
90 year
gotta go.
olds, they can barely drive. We don't need that.
Gotta go.
Go enjoy your life, but you can't stay here. Yeah. So for my last person, she is another runner, and her name is Maria Lorna Ramirez, and she won in like 2017. But she actually has a documentary out on Netflix, and I just found this today, so I'm adding it to my queue. But it's called Lorena Light-Footed Woman. And so she's part of Mexico's Tarahumara tribe. And again, like, they also run in their traditional outfits and like their sandals. Um, so yeah, she has a really cool documentary out, so it looks really good. But it was funny when I was like looking through stuff, there's this interview with her, and I guess Nike had reached out to her and was like, "Hey, like, we'd love to like sponsor you, and like, you could wear the shoes, whatever." And in the interview, she was like, "Yeah, like," they're like, "Oh, are you gonna wear these?" She's like, "Honestly, I probably am not gonna wear these. Like, the people behind me are usually wearing these." And I was like, "Ooh,
Shady, shady.
yeah," because it's like, she doesn't need them. She's good at what she does, clearly,
Yeah.
So, I don't know why both of my ladies were runners, but I've been seeing a lot of them on my TikTok, and they've been popping up, and it's so fucking cool to see because I, first of all, love seeing women succeed, like, my favorite thing ever. But just the fact that well, the first person for sure, like, she didn't have any training. I'm not particularly sure on Maria, but I will find out. Um, but just that they are so good at it, and it's like all these other people have the best gear, quote unquote, and have all the best trainers and whatever, and it's like they still don't win. And I think that goes back to when you put out good energy and you're really going at it from like a pure point of your heart, like, you clearly come out winning, and come out on top. And like, it's really cool to see women, especially Indigenous women, that are, raising the bar for people and like showing out, especially like how cool in Hispanic Heritage Month. Like, I love that.
Yeah, for sure. I think also, like, certain things are for certain people. Like, I think certain people are just innately, better at certain things. So, you can have the best of the best, like top of the class training and resources and materials, but if it's just not what
Mhm.
you're meant to be doing, then you're not going to be, you know, and you go against somebody who, doesn't have half of those resources, but
Mhm.
that's what they're meant to, like, that's what
Yeah.
they're here to do. Like, you're never gonna
Yeah.
surpass them. So
Yeah, honestly, you're right, and I love that. And honestly, I love the little, almost like, when you look at it from like, obviously we live in a capitalist society, and how it's like, "Oh, if you have the best stuff, you're gonna win." And it's just like, no, she just showed up and she won anyways.
yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah. Sometimes all you have to do is show up.
Yeah. Like us tonight, we're all tired. We showed up.
You know?
Shout out everyone in this room. We're doing it.
Yeah. And I think like that's like a big part of discipline. Like, you know, you can't win at doing stuff when you like if you have a goal to do something and you're like, oh, well, I don't feel like doing it today. And you don't do it. Well, hey, and you're going against somebody who it's their same goal, they may have the same goal and they just have that drive in them to, okay, yeah, I'm not feeling it today, but
I'm going to keep doing it.
I still got to do it.
Yeah.
That person's going to get a lot further. So things to think about.
Things to think about.
For sure. But yes, we are going to, since we've shared our people, we're going to pass over to Sam so he can update us with this week's fun fact.
Oh my God. Thank you, Kylie.
I don't know where she came from.
I appreciate you passing the ball over. Thank you so much.
He's part of the girls.
I'm part of the girls. Let's go. It only took me September, 9 months.
Yeah. Woo! Sam's part of the girls.
All right. So my fun fact is about Yuma Sumac. In 1951, at 29 years old, Peruvian soprano Yuma Sumac made her Broadway debut in a music festival, Flamui. Known as the Queen of Exotica, she stunned audiences with her 5-octave vocal range. Wow, 5 octaves. That's quite a range.
Very much so.
Like as somebody that's in the music side of things as well, that's just insane to think about.
Yeah.
Earning her place in music history as one of the first Latin women to break into the U.S. stage spotlight. It has been a simple, short, and sweet Sam's fun fact.
Ooh,
we love that. Thank you so much for sharing about Yuma. Super cool. Peruvian lady. I feel like we don't hear very much about, well, at least I don't hear very much about Peru. So very cool. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. But I'm Kylie.
I'm Peyton.
And this has been Fires of Change.